morning, everybody, or good whatever time of day it is for you, wherever you're tuning in from. I'm here in Abu Dhabi and doing a gentle hatha yoga flow, nice morning wake up class for Seven Wellness. And super excited to be joining everyone today. Even though in these times it's a little crazy for us all. So I invite you to take this moment to just be here, be now, move, breathe, and tune in. So if you want to come to a comfortable seat, whatever that is for you, if you like to be cross-legged, if you like to be on your knees, maybe put a pillow or a block if you have it underneath your bum to elevate those hips up. And just finding your comfortable seat position. Then once you've found your comfortable seat, you can place your hands on your knees or maybe fold them in your lap, again, whatever you feel more comfortable with. You can close your eyes if you like, or just leave them soft. And then just start to arrive on your mat. Noticing the space around you. Noticing the size of the room. The vibrations in the air. Maybe take in any sounds that are around you. No need to judge or chase after them, just letting them come in and out, letting them be. And then start to bring that awareness down to your sit bone, relaxing down the back, while still trying to maintain that nice long spine. And then start to bring your attention to your breath. Feeling the air go in, out the nose. Had some background noise happening there. So just paying attention to that breath. Feeling it stream in through the nostrils, filling up the belly, filling up the chest. And then slowly making its way out. You can feel it moving back and forth, receding and retracting like a wave moving onto the beach. And then receding back into the waters. And now that we've brought ourselves a little bit more into the present moment, into our bodies, we can go ahead and continue with the practice. Flutter those eyes open. And then we're going to start with a nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, just let the chin drop down to the chest. Rounding in the back of the neck. Letting that head get really heavy here. Just letting gravity do the work for you. Maybe start to sway it from side to side a little bit. Feeling that stretch deepen in the back sides of the neck. then move that chin back to center. Inhale as you roll the head up, send that gaze all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, drop it back down to center. On your next exhale, let the right ear drop down to the right shoulder. Send the left hand away. Then flex the wrist, pointing those fingers up towards the sky. So you get a nice stretch going all the way up the arm into the neck. And then if you want to stay here, feel free. Or if you'd like to drop that chin down to the chest as you send the gaze over to the right. Deepening that stretch, going up into the neck even further. And then inhale, coming back up nice and slow. Exhale, left ear drops down to the left shoulder. Reach away with the right hand. Flexing the fingers, turning the fingers up towards the sky. And then staying here, or if you'd like to start to drop that chin down to the chest, sending the gaze over to the left. Taking a nice deep inhale here, enjoying the stretch. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. Now we're going to take our hands and we're going to lace the fingers together. Take a nice deep inhale and then exhale. Press the palms away from you. Inhale as you take the hands up the head. And then exhale, twist in one direction. You choose. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale as you flip the palms and let the hands float down nice and slow. We're going to do that a few more times. So inhale as you lace the hands together. Exhale as you push the palms away. Inhale as you bring the hands up over the head. And then exhale, twist in one direction. Inhale as you come back to center. Exhale, twist the other way. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale as you flip the palms and let the hands float down, nice and slow, moving with the breath. Inhale as you take the hands together. Exhale, push the palms away. Up nice and slow. Exhale, twist in one direction. Inhale, back to center. Exhale. Inhale, back to center. Exhale as you flip the palms and let the hands float down. Good. We're going to come into our tabletop, so you can just come forward here. We want the hands, the fingers spread nice and wide, knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Now we're going to do our cat-cows a little bit differently today, so we're going to tuck our toes. And feel free to do your regular cat-cows if you prefer those, but if not, bear with me. As we inhale, drop the belly down, open up the chest and lift the head. But as we do this, we're going to send the hips down towards the heels. And then on the exhale, round, tucking the tailbone, rounding through the spine, rounding through the shoulders and dropping the head as you move forward. So inhale, dropping the belly, opening up the chest, lifting the head as you move back. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, rounding through the spine as you move forward. So going back and forth. Inhale to cow, sending it back. Exhale, rounding into cat, moving forward. So you start to make a nice little spinal wave here. See if you can do it with your own breath, moving back and forth. Not worrying about what you look like, just what it feels like. Let's do one more and then finish up in your tabletop. Coming back to your nice flat back. And then we're just going to flip the palms around. So we're going to take our hand and just turn the fingers to face you. You can just do it with one hand at a time, or if you want to do it with both hands at a time, feel free. Start to lean back a little bit if you like, if you want to deepen that stretch in the front forearms. Breathing here for a moment or two. And then inhale, coming back up nice and slow, turning the palms back to forward. And then we're going to tuck our toes, take a nice deep inhale, and on the exhale, lift the hips up and back into our first downward dog. As you can see, I'm a little bit tight with space. So if you can't see a piece of me, I apologize. But for now, just walk your dog. Bend one knee, then the other. Maybe you like to a little bit before settling into that shoulder girdle. Or maybe try bending both knees, trying to send the belly towards the thighs, pushing forward with the hands to drop the chest down towards the earth. And then inhale, look at the front of your mat. Exhale as you walk the feet up. Knees are bent. Let the head hang heavy. Let the arms hang like noodles. Again, trying to rest your belly on your thighs here. Taking a few deep breaths. Maybe let the head waggle yes and no, nice and slow. You can grab opposite elbows if you like to help draw that head down towards the mat. Inhales, imagine your spine lengthening. And on the exhales, imagining gravity taking your head and elbows down deep towards the ground. Release those hands. Push up through the feet. Inhale, roll up the spine, nice and slow. Stacking one vertebrae at a time. No rush to get to the top. Arms come out wide, up over the head. And then exhale to the chest. Take a moment here. You can let the hands drop down by your sides if you like. Maybe grip the mat with your toes. Feeling a lift coming through the legs. So it starts at the feet, coming all the way up into the thighs, drawing the kneecaps up into the thighs. Tailbone is tucked underneath the body. Belly button comes up and in. Shoulders are up, back, and down. Palms slightly facing forward. And then chin is level with the earth. This is our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Very grounding, very powerful. So I invite you to take a moment here, see if you can feel those coming up in that body. Feel yourself rooting down into the earth. Feeling a sense of power coming from the solar plexus. Finding your breath. Finding that nice deep inhale and slow exhale. And then if you'd like, you can repeat the mantra. I am safe and all my essential needs are met in this moment. And all of my essential needs are met in this moment. I am safe and all of my essential needs are met in this moment. And then inhale, take the hands up over the head. Exhale, come down to a forward fold, letting the head hang heavy, bending the knees. Then inhale to your halfway lift. So hands come on the shins, nice flat back. Shoulders coming down the back. Exhale, forward fold, hands come all the way down to the mat, step back with the right leg, drop the knee, inhale, sweep the arms up. Really reach here for a moment, scooping that tailbone underneath the body. Shoulders down, away from the ears. And then exhale as the hands come down. Send it back to downward dog. Just pausing here for a moment. Next, inhale, shift the weight slightly into your hands so you can take that right leg and step it up between those hands. Take as many steps as you need to get it there. You can even take your hand and place it there if you need to. Drop the back knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up, scooping the tailbone as you go, reaching up. Shoulders are down, away from the ears. And then exhale as the hands come back down. Lift the back leg and then send it back to downward dog. Again, we're pausing here just for a moment. Inhale as you shift the weight forward. We're going to come all the way into plank this time. Try to hold it here if you can. Pushing your hands down into your mat to broaden your shoulders. Your hips are level with your shoulders. Energy is going through the crown of the head and through the soles of the feet. So you're reaching from both directions here. Feel free to drop the knees if you'd like. And then, with knees dropped or lifted, your choice, bend the elbows backwards to scrape against the ribs as you take the belly and chest down to the mat. Untuck those toes. Pull up the chest into baby cobra. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. You should be able to take the hands away from the mat here. And then exhale as the hands come down. Tuck those toes. Inhale, push yourself up onto your knees or all the way into plank. And then send the hips back to downward dog. Sorry, I have to keep shuffling back and forth on my mat because space is tight. And we're going to stay here in our downward dog for a few breaths. So just get nice and settled. Use this time to go inward. Checking in with the body, checking in with your breath. Trying to find that nice deep inhale and slow exhale. Then start to bend your knees, lifting the heels, looking at the front of the mat, and walking the feet to the top. Inhaling to your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, slight bend in the knees. Inhale as you roll up the spine, nice and slow. Maybe wave the arms back and forth a little bit here. See if you can get them to naturally go back and forth like a pendulum. As you roll up the spine, nice and slow. Take it up over the head, and then exhale, hands come down to the center of the chest. And then allowing them to come down by your sides, finding your mountain pose. So again, finding that lift, starting at the feet, going all the way up through the center line of the body, like somebody's pulling you with a string from the crown of your head. Take a moment, connect with your breath. Find that deep inhale, slow exhale. Again, feeling that rooted feeling, that powerful feeling in the solar plexus. And again, repeating if you'd like, I am safe and all of my essential needs are met in this moment. Inhale as the arms go up over the head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Hands come onto the shins. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Send the left leg back. Drop the knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Reach up nice and tall. Exhale as the hands come down. Send it back to downward dog. Staying here for just a moment. Inhale, shift the weight into the hands so you can step that left foot up in between. Drop the right knee down. Inhale, sweep the hands up, reach. Scooping that tailbone. Exhale, hands come down. Send it back to downward dog. Inhale, shift the weight forward, coming all the way into it here. Pushing through the hands, broadening the shoulders, reaching through the crown of the head, reaching through the feet. Feel free to drop the knees if you like. And then exhale, slowly lowering yourself all the way down onto the mat. Inhale, peel up the head and chest nice and slow, squeezing the shoulder blades together, coming into baby cobra. Exhale, back down. Tucking those toes. Inhale as you push yourself all the way back up, and then sending the hips back to downward dog. Again, staying here for a few breaths. Taking this time to tune into the body. How are your hips feeling? How are your shoulders feeling? How's your breath? Tuning into that breath, finding that nice deep inhale and slow exhale. Start to bend your knees, lift the heels, look at the front of the mat, and then walk yourself up. Inhaling to your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Slight bend in the knees. Inhale as you roll up the spine, maybe start to wave the arms back and forth a little bit here if you like. Once you reach the top, take the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, hands down to the chest. And then allow them to come down by the side. We're going to step to the long edge of our mat. Toes are going to be facing forward, so in line with the heels. We're going to place our hands on our hips. And then inhale, lifting the chest slightly. And then exhale, bending from the hips as you go forward. We're just going to go halfway here. So come down into your halfway lift, reaching out through the crown of the head. And then you can stay here with the hands on the hips, or if you'd like to take it a little bit further, you can take the arms out into an airplane, or maybe behind you. Turn the palms face up. You can experiment here. Try to shift the weight to the outer edges of the feet, noticing how it changes in the body, where it shifts in the back of the legs. And then bring the weight back to all four corners. Maybe shift the weight forward slightly into the toes, not too far though. Again, just taking note, where you're feeling it. Then shift the weight back. Hands come onto the waist. Inhale, come back up nice and slow. And then heel toe the feet together. And come back to the front of the mat. Balls of the feet together, heels slightly apart. So just the tips of the toes together, and then the heels are just a little bit apart. And if it feels better to do hip width, feel free to do that as well. We're going to do Surya Namaskar A. So inhale as the arms go up over the head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift, so hands go onto the shins. Exhale as the hands go down. You can bend the knees. Take a step back with the right and then the left. So we're coming straight into plank this time. And now you can take your option. So if you want to go all the way down onto the mat, all the way onto your belly, then into cobra, and then pushing up and meeting in downward dog, you can do that. Or if you'd like to do chaturanga, which is exhale, push up, try to keep the shoulders above the elbows. Inhale, scoop forward into up dog, so nice strong legs, really lifting pushing the tops of the feet and lifting the knees up. And then exhale, shift the weight back to downward dog. We all meet in downward dog, taking a few breaths. Again, always taking this time to tune into the body. Bending the knees, lifting the heels, looking at the front of the mat, and then you can step, or if you'd like to, you can hop. You can do it in one hop or several hops, just experimenting for yourself. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale. This is a nice flat back, so inhale coming up nice and strong in the core, in the legs. Arms come out wide, up over the head. Exhale, hands to chest. Take a moment, connect with your breath. And then we're going to take the feet to the outer edges of our mat. So just mat width distance. And then we're going to lace the hands behind the back. Bend the knees. Inhale, lift the chest up. And then exhale, bending from the hips, trying to roll the belly down onto the thighs first, and then letting the hands come over the head. Getting some nice stretches in the front deltoids and arms, shoulder area. And then to come back up, push through the feet. Inhale. Coming up nice and slow. And then gently releasing the hand, maybe shaking them out a little bit if you need to. Feet come back together, balls of the feet together, heels slightly apart. Inhale as the arms come up over the head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, step the right leg back, then the left. Then choosing your vinyasa, so if you'd like to go down to the belly to cobra, to down dog, or chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, we all meet in down dog. Take a few breaths. Tune into the breath. Tune into the body. And inhale as you bend the knees, lift the heels, look at the front of the mat, and then you can step or hop. Balls of the feet together, heels slightly apart as you inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up nice and strong, arms out wide, up over the head. Exhale, hands to chest. And then allowing the hands to fall by the sides, taking a moment, feeling that rooted sensation, really getting strong through the legs. Power in the solar plex. And then repeating the mantra, I am safe, and all of my essential needs are met in this moment. And then step back with the right foot, turn the toes out to the side, bending the front knee, turning the chest to the long edge of the mat, arms come out, reaching through those fingertips, coming into. Find that focus over your front fingertips, and again, seeing if you can find the strength in this pose, so really pushing through the legs, feeling that powerful sensation shooting out your arms, finding that warrior gaze. over your fingertips. Dropping the back hand down. Inhale as you sweep the front arm up over the body, reaching through those left fingers. And then maybe on the exhale, bending the front knee a little bit to sink deeper into the pose. Remembering to stay strong in that back leg. And then coming back to our warrior arms for a moment. Bending the front forearm, dropping it down onto the thigh. Inhale as you sweep the top arm up over the head, reaching through those right fingertips. Again, staying strong in that back leg. Kneecap lifting into the quads. Take that right hand, start to take it down, spinning onto the ball of the back foot. Placing the hands onto the thigh, you can bend that back leg. Scoop the tailbone underneath the body so you bring your shoulders over the hips. Inhale, sweep the hands up. And then you can experiment here, straightening that back leg. Trying to find the breath here, find the focus. Exhale as the hands come down. Send it back to downward dog. Good. Taking a few breaths here, tuning in. Maybe noticing the difference between one hip and the other. Finding the breath. Bending both knees, lifting the heels, looking at the front of the mat, and then step or hop to the front. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up with a nice flat back. Arms come out wide, up over the head. Exhale, hands to chest. Allowing the hands to come down by the side if you like. Finding that rooted, powerful sensation here. Finding the lift through the body. Tuning in with the breath. And repeating, I am safe and all of my essential needs are met in this moment. Stepping back with the left foot, turning the toes out to the side, bending the front knee, arms come out, reaching through those fingers. Good. Again, trying to find that nice, powerful feeling here, pushing through the feet like you're trying to rip the mat apart, lifting up, reaching through those fingers, finding that powerful warrior stance, that powerful warrior gaze over those front fingers. Start to drop the back hand down. Inhale as you sweep the front arm up over the body, reaching through those right fingers. And then on the exhale, maybe bending the front knee, sinking a little bit deeper into the pose. Your gaze can be up at your fingers or down at your back foot, whatever feels better on your neck. Staying strong in that back leg. Kneecap lifting into the thigh. And then coming back to your warrior two. Dropping the front forearm onto the thigh. Inhale, sweep the top arm up over the head. Reach through those fingers. Maybe sink the hips a little bit deeper here if you like. If your head is collapsing down onto your shoulder, just try to push up with that hand a little bit, lifting the head up. Trying to keep a nice long spine here. Dropping that left arm down towards the ground, spinning onto the ball of the back foot. Placing the hands on the thighs at first. Scooping the tailbone as you bring yourself up. Back knee is bent, shoulders are above the hips. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then if you like, you can experiment by straightening the back leg and sending the heel towards the back end of your mat. Trying to keep those hips squaring to the front of the mat. Finding the breath. Exhale as the hands come down. Sending it back to downward dog. Pausing here for a moment. Tuning in. Taking note of the hips. Taking note of the shoulders. Taking note of your breath. Bend the knees, lift the heels, look at the front of the mat, and then step or hop. Inhaling to your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up with a nice flat back, arms out wide, up over the head. Exhale, hands down to the chest. And then let the hands come down by your side, finding your mountain pose. Finding that lift through the body here. Good. Now we're going to walk our feet about hip width distance apart. We're going to shift all of our weight into our left leg. You can place the hands on the hips. And then I want you to find a focus point, something out in front of you can focus on that's not moving. This is called our dristi, our focus. And then I want you to take your right leg. You can either bring it in so the toes are still on the mat, heel is just above the ankle. Or if you'd like, keeping that focus, bringing the foot to the calf. Maybe reaching down, taking that foot, placing it all the way onto the thigh. But avoiding placing it on the knee area. And then once you've gotten here, try to really focus on lifting up through that leg. That grounded leg is really reaching up. You're pushing in with the opposite leg and then trying to take that knee out to the side. So you're opening up the hips. Then maybe you want to bring the hands to the chest. And maybe they come all the way up over the head. Maybe you like to take them apart here. Bring a little bit of a smile to your face. Don't worry if you fall out, just coming back in and trying it again. Hands come down to the chest. Releasing that leg nice and slow, kicking it forward and then bringing it back down. Good. And again, shifting the weight all the way to the right side. Hands come onto the hips, finding that focus point. Either the toes stay on the mat, or you bring them up onto the calf, or you reach down and place it all the way up onto the thigh. Finding that lift through the grounded leg. So you're hugging that right hip in, pushing in with the left foot to create a lock here. And then try to open up that knee as much as you can to open up that hip area. Bringing the hands to the chest. Then all the way up over the head, taking them wide if you like. Trying to find a little bit of a smile here. And then bringing the hands back down to the chest. Releasing that leg, kicking it out front. And coming back. Beautiful. Now, I want you to take your your feet as wide as your mat. Toes facing out. Heels facing in. Then we're going to inhale as we take the arms up over the head. And then exhale as you squat down, coming into your malasana, the yogi squat. If you find that your heels are really lifting off and it's hard to balance and you're rounded through, I invite you to, if you have one, take a block, or if you have a book, a thick book or a couple books, you can place them under your bum. And then that can really help lift up your spine. So that's what we're looking for here, right? A nice long spine, shoulders above the hips again, elbows pressing on the insides of the knees. And drawing the hands into your chest. Maybe take a deep breath here, lifting the heart space up a little bit, maybe gazing up into the sky or to your ceiling, offering up that heart space, surrendering. Allowing what is to be, and allowing yourself to be now. And then gently releasing. You can bring your hands behind you. Remove that block if you have it. And then we're just going to sit on our mat with our knees bent. Try to rock onto those sit bones. So see if you can feel those sit bones pushing into your mat here as you lift up through the spine, trying to get nice and tall. Shoulders are nice and wide, nice broad chest. Hands underneath the knees, and then start to lean back, trying to keep that nice long spine, broad chest, until you feel like your feet can come up off the mat. You're welcome to leave the hands where they are if you want to try to take them away. Take a few breaths, but if you find yourself as rounding after you do that, just come back with the hands underneath the knees. Because this is the most important part, keeping a nice long spine, broad chest, and engaging that core strength. And we can get here eventually, but always next week. So finding your breath here. Good. And then we're going to rock behind us. So have a look behind you. Make sure you have enough space. Hands underneath the knees. And then we're just going to round the spine a little bit here. Come back. 1. I'm running out of room. 2. And then on 3, boat pose. So I have to shift around here. So you just come up, trying to maintain that boat, the Navrasana. And then hands out to the side, staying strong in the core. Feel free to keep the hands underneath the knees so you can keep that nice broad chest and long spine. Finding the breath. And we're going to look behind us again, and we're going to roll back again 3 times up into boat pose. So 1, 2, and 3, coming all the way up. Finding that nice long spine, open chest. Hands are out to the sides or underneath the knees. Finding the breath here. If you want to try extending one leg, maybe the other leg, or maybe both legs. Again, always try to keep that nice long spine, open chest. Drop the feet down. Give yourself a hug. Thank your trunk, your center, your core for doing all that work for you. And then lifting the head up, we're just going to stick our legs out. And if you feel a little crunchy in your lower back, I always like to place a blanket. You can use a towel or whatever. You can place it underneath your bum, and that can kind of help release that lower back a little bit. And then we're going to take our arms up, and we're not going to worry about a flat back. We're going to do caterpillar here, actually. So exhale, rounding through, letting the head drop down, letting the arms come down by the side. Feel free to hold on to your legs if you like to have an anchor, but don't pull. Just let gravity work for you. So just let the hands fall where they may, let the head drop. Take a few breaths. Breathing into the hamstrings. Breathing into the back. And then on your next inhale, see if you can find a little bit more length. So maybe inhale, lifting up, lengthening through the spine. And then reaching forward, but not pulling too much. Then exhale, coming back down, letting the spine around. Inhale, start to roll the spine back up, nice and slow. Beautiful. And then you can remove that blanket if you have it. We're going to bend the knees again. Hands come underneath the knees, or you can reach out nice and long here. And then start to round as you come down, rolling one vertebrae down at a time until your back is nice and flat on your mat. Knees are bent, feet underneath the knees. And then we're just going to inhale as you push through the feet to lift the hips up. Place the hands underneath the back. You can tuck the shoulders. Inhale as you lift the hips higher. And just finding your breath here. Keeping that tailbone scooping underneath the body. And then untuck those shoulders, release the hands. Slowly roll the vertebrae down to the mat, one at a time, sacrum touching lats. Then I want you to pick your hips up, and we're just going to shift them to the right. So shift your hips to the right of your mat. Bring your knees to your chest, and then you're going to bring your arms up, either to a T shape or cactus arms. I don't have any room here, so I'm going to use cactus arms. And then just let those knees drop over to the left. You can send your gaze in the opposite direction if it feels good on your neck. And then while you're in this twist here, I invite you to relax your forehead, soften your jaw. And then notice how these two things affect the rest of your body. Maybe breathe into that tissue that's wrapping with your spine. Sending a little message saying it's okay to let go and release. And then inhale as you bring the head back to center. Draw the knees back up to the chest. And then place the feet back down. Scoot your hips over to the left side. Bring your knees to the chest. And then on your exhale, let those knees drop down to the right. Sending the gaze in the opposite direction if it feels good. If you find that one of your shoulders really wants to come up off the mat, you can either place a block underneath your knees or a blanket or something like that underneath your arm to give a little bit of support there so you can really release in the chest. Take a moment, soften the forehead, relax the jaw, and notice what that does for the rest of your body. Sending messages saying it's okay to let go and to release. And then inhale as you roll the head to center. Draw the knees back up. Wrap your arms around them, give a nice squeeze. Maybe rock from side to side a little bit here. Massaging the lower back. And then I'd like you to inhale, bring your forehead to your knees. And then try to squeeze your entire body here. So squeeze your face muscles, squeeze your leg muscles, squeeze your arm muscles. Really get as tight as you can and as little as you can. And then exhale, relax. Send your legs nice and long. Send your arms down by your side, turning your palms face up. And then do any little movements here that you would like to, making yourself more comfortable before going into our final resting pose, Savasana. And once you feel nice and settled, allow those eyes to close or just keep them soft. Imagine you laying on your mat, feeling your mat beneath your body. Maybe you can feel a slight floating sensation, like your mat is holding you a few inches above the ground. And then start to feel yourself get heavy. Allowing yourself to sink down into your mat, into the earth. Allowing yourself this time of complete rest for the body and the mind. Slowly make your way back to the body, wiggling those fingers and toes. Making bigger movements, rolling the wrists and ankles. Making any stretches that feel nice to you. And then eventually bend your knees, roll off onto your side, and just spend a moment or two here in the fetal position. What does this position bring you? What kind of sensations do you feel? And then in your own time, slowly push yourself up and come to your comfortable seated position. You can leave your hands folded in your lap, or if you'd like to join me with hands pressed together at heart center in Anjali Mudra. I'd like to invite you to take a moment here to thank yourself for your practice, for showing up in this digital space, and then in your real space, to share space. And then I'd like to end today with a few things that I've learned and have found very helpful over the last few weeks. So if you'd like to flutter those eyes open, we're going to start. We're going to lace our hands together here, and then our thumbs are crossed. We're going to start right underneath our right clavicle, and then we're going to tap our way over to our left while making a relief sound. So I've been finding this very therapeutic. My teacher, Annie Owl, gave this to me a couple weeks ago, and I'm so glad she did. So if you'd like to join me, hands laced together, thumbs crossed, starting right underneath the right clavicle. Take a nice deep inhale, and then on the exhale, tap across your chest like you're wearing a nice necklace. Again, inhale, going back to the other side. All right, we're going to do that a couple more times. Inhale, good. One more time. Inhale, beautiful. So that's really helpful for just calming down, centering, getting that stress relief. And then another one that I really like to do is you can either use your thumbs like this, but I find it better to use your pointer fingers. So again, we're going to start at the clavicle, but we're going to be the inside of the clavicle on this one. So right where that little circle is for your throat, right on those bones right there. Find those tips of those bones, and then move down a little bit so you can find a little dimple. So you're not on the bone anymore, it's just a little compression indent underneath the bone. Just press there. You can rub around a little bit. You don't have to press super hard, just nice and gentle. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Feel free to make the sound, that's really good. And then you can also just slide it down about one thumbprint, your own thumbprint size, moving into the upper chest. Again, rubbing around there. Don't need to press too hard. Deep inhale. Exhale. And one more. So moving down another thumbprint. So you're moving into the chest muscles a little bit. Inhale. Good. And those are actually pressure points in the body that are really helpful for stress release. So doing the tapping and then the 3 pressure points, and also making the noise. The noise is super, super therapeutic. So if you feel like you need that, I really invite you to try it out. Don't be embarrassed. I'll do it in public sometimes. Yeah. Or if you want to go into the bathroom, if you need a moment, please try it. And thank you so much for tuning in and staying with me, sharing space. I know that right now things are super crazy for all of us, but being able to come together and stay connected even though we're apart is so special. And thank you all so much. I look forward to doing this more for you guys. And let me know if you have any advice for me as far as how I can make these videos better for you. And if you'd like to see anything in particular as far as poses, flows, please let us know in the comments. And namaste.